Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. There is another card show in my area. This one is one of the larger shows that comes around. They've recently expanded it within the last couple years to a larger convention center just to accommodate, I think it's up to 90, 100 tables or so. So it's going to be kind of overwhelming when I go in there, but usually the few times I've been up here, you're able to find a lot of cool stuff and a lot of interesting things. So I'll see you inside. Okay, so here we are.
Good to see you. Thank you.
It is pretty impressive for this neck of the woods. Looks like there's quite a few people here. Let's see what we can find. All right, this is one of the first guys I stopped at. The bottom here, really cool, some PSA cards. There's a Willie Mays down there. The other one's kind of right in the glare, Mickey Mantle, like giant postcards. And then that one right there with the black was a matchbook from Joplin, Missouri, where Mickey Mantle was playing in the minor leagues for the Yankees before he got called up to the major leagues. And so that was kind of a cool little matchbook that had been PSA graded. This is another vendor that I've seen set up before and just has an absolutely amazing vintage collection. It's going to look like all they had was vintage at this because I was just so blown away. I always recorded the vintage, but there actually were modern cards too. If you just look there, as you go higher and higher up in the case, it just gets older and older and all super impressive. Here's another one of his cases. Willie Mays. There's a Jordan Fleer there on the left. Got some more vintage basketball. I think there's a Wilt Chamberlain up there at the top. I'm not a real big basketball collector. There's some super awesome cards. Neve, here's you go, 52 Bowman's. Sandy Koufax, Clemente, Reggie Jackson, Nolan Ryan, Whitey Ford, and Yogi Berra. I mean, Ted Williams. The hits just never stop coming in amazing cases. Okay, this vendor is one of my favorite guys to go talk to. I picked up some cards from him, none in this case because they were out of my price range. But you saw the Jeter 93 SP, Felix Hernandez, PSA rookie card there, prospect card. There's some old school post-serial ones, kind of right in the glare. Hard to see exactly what it is, but it was, trust me, pretty cool. There's a Charles Barkley, and then those cards, so cool. The star set, Michael Jordan, Team USA. And then that one, which I can't remember the name of, Estrella's, I think. The Tiger Woods rookie card, I saw like 4 or 5 people have that. I'm going to have to try to pick that up. Oh man, I should have picked up this binder if I would have had more money. It was $120 for this whole hand-collated set of Fleer Metal Universe. I can't remember what year this is, 96, 97, 98, somewhere in there. Just, oh man, all the nostalgia. They don't make cards like this anymore. I didn't have $120, or I might be kicking myself I didn't buy that. Here's some cards from the National. There's a Bobby Witt Jr. Those were pulled out of those National packs. There's a Mike Trout Bowman rookie up at the top. Ellie De La Cruz, first Bowman Chrome Auto. That thing will probably explode. He's been absolutely on fire. Home field advantage of Wander Franco from this year's Topps. Yeah, there's the De La Cruz. And this guy is known pretty well in this area. He kind of put together a lot of these shows back in the day. He still puts together a lot, but he's always got an amazing collection of vintage cards. He travels all over the Midwest and setting up at shows, and so he's always a staple at shows around the Midwest area. So if you've been to him, you've probably seen this display with all these awesome mantles and Jackie Robinsons, and he just has an awesome vintage collection for people to check out. And I mean, just look at this. The hits never stop coming. There's a Babe Ruth card. We've got, as we go up here, even more really cool vintage stuff. There's a hand sign, something, I don't even remember what that is. There's the iconic Jordan. Then as you go, I mean, look at that. There's I've never seen the mantle before in person. Jackie Robinson right next to it. The 52 Topps. He said that he had just traded for that card like within the last 24 hours. There's the Willie Mays all the way on the left. I think that's the 54. And then at the top, I made sure to zoom in for my buddy David M. Satchel Paige. I think that's a card he's maybe been chasing. At least I think he might have been looking for that a long time ago. And he had some newer stuff too. There's the Luis Robert Auto from the Field of Dreams game, the cornfield around there, and then obviously the Bonds 86 Topps traded. So many cool things here. I'm back home from the card show, excited to show you what I was able to pick up. Thank you so much for joining me and seeing some of the vendors and some of the setups that were there at the show. A good variety of vintage cards, of more recent cards, some really, really high-end stuff. Obviously saw some cards that were way out of my budget that were just absolutely amazing. First time I've ever seen the 52 Mantle in person. The classic Jordan card was there from a couple different people. I didn't film all of them, but wow, just an awesome show. And big shout out to Chase at Dugout Sports Cards, who kind of puts that on. If you're kind of in the middle of the country, you may know of him or his store. So anyway, the cards that I picked up here, these were $0.25 a piece. A guy who always has a lot of recent Bowman stuff. Had a box of all sorts of Bowman for the last couple of years at just $0.25 a piece, mostly base, paper cards and prospect paper cards. There are a few first Bowman Chromes in there, but I thought, man, I'll just get a nice chunk of cards here for the top 100 set. I put that together in one, I think it was 2020. I have the entire 100 from the Bowman Scouts Top 100. Maybe I'll show that off in a video someday. But I picked all those up for $0.25 a piece, and then he had a couple of other Bowman cards that I picked up from him. The Jordan Lawler I did not get last year. I think this is from Bowman Draft. Yeah, Bowman Draft Chrome 194 there. And he has been amazing so far in his minor league stints in the Arizona system. So I wanted to grab that. Not that it'll ever get too out of control with price, but you never know. He's done really well, and I haven't been able to pick up that card yet. So I thought for $5 would be all right. I assume that's about what it's going for. And then this is from this year's 2022 Bowman Sapphire. Curtis Mead, first baseman and third baseman. Heard a lot of good things about him and how he's done so far. There's another guy, I can't remember his name, maybe Let's Talk Wax. I can't remember if that's the name of his channel or not. If not, I just gave that channel a shout out, who does a lot of prospect videos and has always been really high on him and said that he has really been impressive. Not obviously to the level of like the Ellie De La Cruz or the Chirinos or whatever the kid in Milwaukee is. I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, I got all these for $20. So I basically paid for these two and then got all those 20 cards out of the Bowman Scouts Top 100 for free. So he's always a good guy to deal with and always cuts you a pretty decent deal. So excited to pick up some cards from him. Another guy had this one, Adiel Amador, for $4. First Bowman Chrome autograph. I sort of remembered, I thought he might be pretty decent, but I don't know. I couldn't remember and I didn't want to just look it up. So I figured, you know what, for $4, I'll take a gamble on a first Bowman Chrome autograph for $4 of a position player, especially one who's in Colorado's system and can put up some pretty crazy numbers. Like we've seen Arenado and LeMahieu and Trevor Story do in the past. We'll see how he does, but pick that one up for $4. One of my other subscribers has some kids who are big Colorado fans, and so I picked these up from another one of my favorite guys to stop and look at his cards and just talk to. Had a Bowman Inception here of Charlie Blackman. I believe this is the green parallel, maybe. I don't know that for a fact. And then this Raimel Tapia, which is numbered. I don't know if you can really tell out of here. Numbered out of 36, so pretty low numbered. I know he's not on Colorado anymore, but to get a pretty low numbered jersey relic card out of Tier 1, or triple threads maybe, I can't even tell you what this is. Yeah, it is triple threads. So pick both those up for just a few bucks. So I'll be sending those to my buddy and whose kids are a big Colorado fan. And then my bigger purchases are coming up here. There was a guy who had a big display of just slabs he was trying to get rid of, and I picked up a couple. Obviously, you're like, man, why would you sell something, a PSA card, for $4 if it costs more than that to grade it? And he said he bought a bunch of these in like a giant lot, and he's just trying to get rid of some of them that are obviously not the highest end cards. So this one was priced for $4. Figured I would let my buddy Vintage Card Steve or Clint at Swing Away Sports Cards battle it out, because I think they're both Matt Williams fans or San Francisco Giant fans. So to get his Donruss rookie for $4, I figured I'd let them battle it out to see who really wants that one. And then, I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot. I haven't given up on Joe Adell yet. I know some people hate on him, and he has definitely not performed up to expectations in the stints that he's had at the major league level so far, and defense hasn't always been the best. But man, I still think he has I don't know, maybe I'm just too optimistic on him. But to get his first Bowman Chrome refractor for $10 and a 9, man, it just kind of shows you how far his stock has fallen, because that card would have been way more than that just a couple of years ago. So maybe he can put it all together here in the next year or two, and that may be a decent purchase. And even if not, it's a pretty nice card, and $10, it's not going to break the bank. So those were kind of my purchases I made. They were just from different vendors around. And then probably my favorite one, and you saw me kind of film this in the video, is this card. If I can get the price sticker off of there. If I can, well, I'll just do it later. It says 1960 new card, Willie Mays makes greatest catch, baseball highlights. Card number 27, obviously the grade is just in a 5, but I thought this was really cool. I had never seen this before. I had never heard of 1960 new card. And to be honest, I don't really know a lot about it. So I'm gonna have to look up some background information on it. Kind of looks like a newspaper article here from the 1954 World Series and the iconic Willie Mays catch in the World Series opener in the Polo Grounds, which that fence is like, what, 480 feet from home plate. So it would be a home run like in every single ballpark nowadays. And it's got the cool story here of kind of that iconic and probably the most famous catch in baseball history. Got a little trivia on the back. What is the most famous boner in baseball? And it's got the answer up here if you turn it upside down. Merkel's boner, which is a very famous kind of blooper blunder in baseball history. I can't remember exactly the details of it right now, but I know I've heard of it. So anyway, he actually sold it to me for $60. I had looked online to see if that was a good price or not, since I didn't really know anything about it, and it looked like that was a very good price actually, but maybe I was just naive, but I think it was a pretty good price. So anyway, this is my favorite card that I picked up at the show. Obviously I spent a lot on this card, so I kind of had to be a little bit more frugal with the rest of my pickups, because I picked this one up first. I'm like, man, this is so cool. I gotta grab it now before anyone else does. I've never seen one of these cards before. So thank you so much for joining me on this one, guys. There is a card show next weekend, a big show up there at the John Knox Pavilion in Lee Summit, which is close to Kansas City. Not exactly sure if I'm gonna be able to make it to it, but if you're in the Kansas City area next weekend on Saturday and Sunday, I believe, check out the John Knox Pavilion in Lee Summit, Missouri, because they have an awesome card show. It's a $5 entry fee, but they have so many vendors. It's absolutely insane. You could spend 5-6 hours there, no problem at all. So thank you so much for joining me on this one, guys. Really excited to pick up this Willie Mays PSA slab. You can see kind of the size of this card compared to a regular card. It is ginormous. Gonna make storing it interesting, but I think it's just super cool and one of the coolest cards I've ever been able to add to my collection. So I appreciate you watching and coming along with me, and I will catch you in the next video, everyone. See ya.